And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Melody, and
I'm her dad. And today we're talking about Hospital Rush. Now, this is a theme that you like a lot, I think. In fact, Melody's working on a game about hospitals. But this one here, you are a pretty bad doctor. Like, just a doctor who shouldn't even be allowed to practice medicine. You're curing patients, but you're not doing it to help them. You're doing it for the fame and the glory and because you're lazy, I guess, or a cheater or a slacker. It's a worker placement game. Is it good? Let's take a look. In this game, each person gets a doctor. So you take your doctor here, and none of these doctors are very good people here. We have Arthur Coolidge, who's Mr. Perfect, and Kurt von Schneider, the scumbag, Susie Weiss, the nerd, Freddie Funster, the slacker, Marina Clementina, the hottie, Theo Goodman, the crook, and Vanessa Toad, the doctor's pet. Now, each person that you pick has special abilities. So let's say I pick Vanessa Toad. I will take a card for her too, and this is actually a pretty cool thing of the game. This card basically sums up what her special abilities are, and you can pass this card to someone else if they like to know what she does. Now, each player is going to have a color, so you place a color on your board to show what color you are, and you're going to get two workers of your color. And the way each round of the game goes is you're going to place these workers out either on the main board or you can place them on your own board. Now you'll notice some of these spots to place workers are blue and some are red. That's because red are technically illegal or unethical actions for sure. Blue ones are perfectly legitimate, so using the ones on your special player board aren't quite so good. What do these actions do? Well, first of all, we can take a look here. You can go to the pharmacy, and this one here is a spot for one, so if someone takes it, no one else can get it. Here is a spot for as many people as you want. And so if you go to the top spot, you can take two medicines of your choice. And the number of medicines is one less than the number of players. So there's 4 different medicines of each color here. And then here you can take one medicine, then you can pay $1 more to get another medicine. You need the medicines because up here you have different patients. Now these patients here are parodies and such. Here we have Leonardo Diabertica, Malaria Croft, Sherlock Mumps, and Jacob X Bully. Now each of these needs some things to cure them. Like he needs an orange medicine, a blue medicine, and then 2 bandages. She needs an orange, blue, purple, and 4 bandages. Sherlock Mumps needs 3 bandages and an orange and a blue, or an orange and 2 bandages. So you can see how that works. So if you like to cure these people, you'll go down here and go to one of these spots. First person can put 2 things on someone for free. Everyone else can put 1 on for free, and then you can pay $1 to put on as many other ones as you would like. So if I went to cure Malaria Croft, I would put on her, let's say, I can take these bandages for free. I could put 2 on for free, but I also need to put on to her 2 more bandages, a blue, an orange, and a purple medicine. Well, I don't have all that. Let's say I only had a blue and a purple medicine, so I pay $2, so I can put on 4 total. And then I also will put a marker of my color there to show that she's my patient, so no one else can work on her. And in the future, hopefully, on a future turn, I'll be able to finish curing her. Then down here, you can place people to get money. And you have to place these in order, and whoever is the first one to put one down also determines who the first player is next round. Here you can go to school. Now going to school is going to refer to your board here. There are 3 different things you can do. You can get intensive care, so you get an extra free one when you treat a patient if you finish this schooling. This costs $3 to go to school. Or when you discharge a patient from the hospital, you'll get a free medicine. Or when you discharge a patient from the hospital, you get $2. And then there's management, which lets you discharge a cured patient immediately, but you can only take this if you have 2 or 3 skills otherwise. So you can do these skills, and then over here on the board, you can also pay $2 or $4 to do your final exams, which immediately gives you a point for each skill that you have here. Now you can only do the final exam once, so you can't get a whole lot of points that way. The most points you'll ever get from this is 4, but you might need the points earlier in the game because only 10 points will win you the game. Now, one of those things is immediate discharging. When you cure someone, they aren't instantly cured. It's only at the end of a turn that someone's cured, because there are special abilities that might let someone take a medicine off them or jump on them themselves or what have you. But at the end of a round, each person's going to be cured. Whoever, let's say there was enough stuff on her to cure her, she'd be gone. And you'll notice on her, it mentions 4 victory points for curing her. This guy's worth 2. The person here in the end, whether they're cured or not, is going to go away. These move over, and we bring out 2 new people. Here we have Scarlet Fever and Walt Kidney. There's also nasty actions that you can do. Here you can buy victory points, sucking up to people. Here you can steal money and or medicine from 2 different people. And then, of course, you have the special abilities here, like, say, Vanessa Toad. She can discard an opponent's patient, but for each tile that they already had in that patient, you have to pay $1 to the bank. And then you and the other player each get exactly 1 point. So she comes in and she's the one who, oh, I finished it. Or I'm telling the boss, she can take $3 from the bank. Each opponent with at least 1 marker on a red space must immediately pay $2 or lose a point. So she's the tattletale. Let's show another one here. We got Freddie Funster, the slacker. He can take a $1 from the bank, and everyone else has to give you either a $1 or medicine. Or he can discharge a patient in bed 4 and move everyone else 1 bed to the right. Then choose any patient from the discard pile and put it in bed 1, and then he can claim that one. So he's a slacker. Now, these red actions are dangerous, not just because of Susie, but there's the rat space. This is where you tell on everybody else. You get $1 for each marker that's on a red space, and plus 1, so you get at least 1. But if there's like 3 markers on red spaces, you get 4. Plus, each person on a red space has to either immediately pay $1 to the bank or lose a victory point. At the end of a round, we start over again, and as soon as someone gets to 10, the round is over, and then whoever has the most victory points is the winner of the game. The artwork in this game is kind of silly. I mean, we're talking Mad Magazine, and of course there's the parodies of the different people. We got Bob Piggity, and Jim Carrey's, and Severus Scrape. Ho ho ho! Is he good or bad? We don't know. Anyhow, here's Bruce Wayne. Okay, anyhow. So the artwork is really over the top silly. So you don't really, it's not like, oh, I didn't cure that guy. If he dies from bubblies coming out of his head, that's just weird. But what did you think about the artwork and how everything looked?
The artwork, some of them were kind of like send shivers down your back, and the pictures. But the game was fun. I really liked it. I liked putting out your people. In my opinion, it had very few things, and I wasn't used to having only 2 workers to put out.
You like ones where you have more workers, right?
About like 3 or 4 and stuff.
Yeah, there is that, and the game is kind of quick that way. There's not a lot of things. You are really going to be doing getting medicine and curing patients most of the time, although you also need to get money. And it's good to do the studies, because the studies get you, if you're able to discharge a patient from the hospital and immediately get some money for that and some medicine, that's a pretty good deal. You can get that working. The negative actions, that's where this game is different. It has a take that feel. It's like Melody's like, look at me, I'm curing a patient. I'm like, no, you're not. And that happens a lot in this game. What do you think about that?
I thought that was fun too. But the thing I noticed is that for the snitch thing, it wasn't used that much because not that many people actually used it, and you only had 2 people to put out.
Yeah, it seems like a small flaw in the game, even in a 5-player game, which would make the snitch thing the most useful. Because in a 5-player game, lots of people would be using red spaces.
But you'll still find other stuff.
Yeah, you'll find only 2 or 3 people use red spaces at the most at a time. And the snitch thing isn't really that dangerous, and the red spaces aren't that good. It's not like Lords of Waterdeep, the expansion for Lords of Waterdeep, where the spaces that gave you the negative stuff, they were really good. And the penalties for taking them were really bad. So you had to kind of balance it out. Here you're like, I'll do it, I guess, if there's nothing else to do. Oh, you make me give up $1. I mean, make sure you keep $1 if you go to one, in case someone does snitch on you. But the game does have a high take that thing. You could be about to cure a 4-point patient. I'm like, hey, no, you don't. And I think some people would not be a big fan of that. Some people will not like to take that element of it. This is a light worker placement game. I mean, light. I'm floating away. What are your final thoughts on the game?
The box that's floating away.
The box, yeah.
So it was a fun doctor game. Actually, one of the very few doctor games that I actually really liked.
No, there isn't very many, though, that's for sure. So you like it overall?
Yeah.
I do too, but like I said, I would only want to play it once in a while. It's interesting. It could have been maybe a lot better, I think. It's just super light. So it's the kind of game you want to think when you kind of want to turn your brain off. Ooh, get medicine, steal medicine from other people, cure patients. Ha 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 ha, look at that patient. And that's where it's at for me. So that's Hospital Rush. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Weird.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Κλείσε την πόρτα.